is everyone going for complete sets? Now that we've been seeing a lot of the trends.
Ben's fist pumping.
Yeah.
You know, complete sets is so interesting. I guess this could lead to a different conversation.
It does. I was gonna. It was more gonna lean into.
What are you leaning it into?
Basically,
I don't
how
want to offend anybody.
Content really affects the gaming market as people are starting to put out more content around it.
I'll say definitely that I have noticed in the space that we're in a lot of content creators who are kind of in our world, like game hunting world, are doing complete sets now. Right. And I'm not saying anyone in particular started it. You could argue the Game Chasers started. You could argue the NES Pursuit was the first, one of the first. Not saying it was, but one of the leaders in that.
It's been around for a while.
A long time. Yeah.
OGs, baby.
Some people get mad when I say it. They're like, we get it. You've been doing it for 13 years. I'm like,
you old head, shut up.
Yeah, I'm just giving context.
Me, though. Low key. I'm the guy in the comments.
I will say right now, there are a lot of people in our space, for good or worse. That's good. Right? I'm happy people are getting complete sets. That's kind of like, I feel like the next wave of trends within this scene in the retro world.
Yeah,
a lot of people are, hey, I want to get the full PS2 set. Shout out to Wrecked Wizard. You know, I want to get another NES set.
Mike,
Shout out
great.
Gamer Aimer. You know, just people wanting to go for full sets. We've noticed that a lot. So it's really good. But what we were talking about when we were listing on Whatnot is how much do you think this stuff like affects actual market? Right, YouTubers. We've talked about it before in the past. I know Metal Jesus had heat before in the past. Phoenix Resale, we've said, has, you know, when he talked about GameCube prices went up. Yeah. Can we prove it was because he was talking about it? I don't know. Have you ever noticed anything within, I mean, I don't know if we hold that enough weight. You know, we're doing full NES, Rick did full NES, Gamer Aimer is doing full NES.
You'll get blamed for it for sure.
Yeah.
In the comments, I see it.
Do you think, oh, you see, okay, good. I don't read
on Instagram, I see it.
Oh, no. Do you think or see ever that markets will push in the desire for people as a store owner to buy more of that console as it gets more popularized or polarized within YouTube?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, and I might not always know that there was videos going on, but I sometimes I'll hear like, oh, you know, Caleb is doing a GameCube complete set. Like I that might have correlated back when like GameCube prices like spiked too.
When he was doing GameCube Gambit, we didn't.
That's dope.
I will say it was a very popular series on the internet. It really was one of his bigger series. You know, hundreds of thousands of views every video, sometimes more. And it was during the time GameCube prices went up. Not saying he did it. I don't know, but I feel like there has to be some correlation, because even a small example for us, you know, being the size we are, for those who don't know, we have another channel much larger than this one.
Hey, we're sizable, baby.
There's our 100K plaque.
Bro,
you know?
Heroes.
Bro, I'll double neck it right now. We're sizing up, baby. We're good.
We're doing good. But we will see a lot of people come to the swap meet and be like, hey, I started collecting this set because of you guys, or hey, I'm going for this now because of you guys. And we don't take that as a negative thing at all. We're like, awesome. I'm always a fan. Yes, it's going to build more competition, but there's always been competition in the past 8 years, I'd say. That's pretty hefty. So I like people going for physical. I like people going for the sets. Yeah, it adds more competition, but we do see it adding more desire to people for collecting that, or the scarcity. People, hey, Xbox, you know how many videos I saw like a few months ago? Xbox, you got to get Xbox. Xbox is going up. I mean, I feel like you're even.
I think I bought a few Xbox games because of those videos.
See, even if it's not.
Like, man,
I know. I bought the Wolverine one, and I was like, dude, this is kind of pricey. What was I thinking?
Even if it's not. Even if it's not, I feel like you could. Obviously, we're not doing this, but you could like manipulate a market.
Yeah, you
if you wanted to. Reach out to all your content creator friends.
And it affects the market a lot too, like because it depends on what people do once they get the complete set. Like Gabo is selling his now, right? Is he? Am I not supposed to say
Pretty
that?
much.
Yeah, all right, so I heard he's selling it. Maybe he's not.
I mean, we technically already said that, like.
I think I'm buying like 200 off him alone. So.
So he did it. He achieved his goal, and now he's selling it off. But I think what a lot of people do is they achieve that, and then it sits there, right? So it takes all of these games off the market. And I wonder, like, how many complete NES sets are out there? Probably thousands.
There was one
hundreds.
on eBay a while ago.
Yeah, and so either people start to sell them up, but from just a supply and demand, right? Like all the, not necessarily the common titles, but the rare ones, like they just go off and then they sit in a shelf. And maybe they'll sit there for 20, 30 years now.
Dude, that is so true, because I'm trying to complete the Neo Geo MVS collection. And while I got all the US games, there's a few Japanese exclusives. And I just bought one this weekend. and it was from a collector that is getting out of the market. You know, and that just seems to be the only way that these things pop up.
You have to wait.
Yeah, you just gotta wait for
and
it.
I'm sure it's like that in the comic book world. Like if you're a
Making
Superman
everything.
collector, like you want Superman
I
1,
mean-
you got to wait for some guy.
Funko
that's
also
not
is
gonna-
I have
that's gonna
seen
sell
it,
that now.
different collectible markets too. I mean, cards is a huge thing. Even though, remember the old junk wax era? Everybody was like the 89, 90s and all that stuff. For some reason, those boxes and everything, those breaks that people are doing for cards, I see them all the time. It's like the value that I saw, I'm like, there's no way that it's going for that. Like it used to just go for like $1 or $2.
Yep.
Ben sold, what was it, like some baseball cards the other day, and you bought them for like $10. You were like, oh, let's just see what happens.
Yeah, just threw them up there like as soon as I got home, and I think I tripled or quadrupled my money.
Yeah.
What were they, 80s, 90s baseball cards?
It was 87 tops. It was
Yeah.
three large like sealed containers, and yeah, I bought them for $10 each. And I sold
I mean,
them for like.
you-
But I feel like
90,
some people
I
make
think.
it. I feel like some people make it seem though that like they're like, oh man, like you guys spoke about it. It's like they make it seem like if you guys like put these games out there for sale, like these games have been around already.
Yeah.
All you guys are doing is like
Recycling, technically, is what it is.
you're just showing people that hey, look, these games are here. If you guys never seen them, you know, like there might be a person that never saw like the GameCube games, and they're like, oh, you know what? I didn't know that existed. I want to get that now.
Yeah.
So I feel like some people take it as like, man, you guys are like pumping up the prices on everything, but no, it's like you're just showing people
My goal-
that there's other things out there.
My goal is the opposite. I mean, I say Super Nintendo is the greatest console of all time, but for some reason I have this crazy obsessive passion with the NES to where I truly, that's why I want every single game, because I want to be able to like feel and look at box art and like appreciate every single NES game, because to me it created. Without the NES, I don't think I'd be doing any of this. I wouldn't own a convention. I wouldn't be making them. My kids wouldn't be at private school. This all correlates. The money I make, everything all correlates to I edit for this person, all because of my passion for the NES. So it's like me exposing it. When I love in the comments when I'm like, oh, you guys haven't played, you know, Pasterminator. Oh, it's this, and the music's like, even if it's bad, it's people being like, whoa, I didn't know that was a thing. That's cool, you know.
The best part is when I see people comment like, dude, what did this guy play every game? I'm like, I'm gonna tell you right now, Riff researches every game and then plays it.
Yeah.
Like that is his like.
Probably has played every game.
Yeah, he definitely
Like
has
the-
probably played every game in this
I'm a
set.
weird Nintendo guy.
And to me, NES is like the foundation of the whole retro gaming
Yes.
market in general.
Not the first, but the foundation.
Not the first.
I thought Atari was your era. Like, what do we?
No, I'm not that old of it ahead, but like, meant so much to so many people, and like, plus it's also really colorful when you put it on a shelf like yours over there.
Yeah, I know that people can't see it right now, but if you watch the Pixel Game Squad videos, fast forward to like the end of the videos lately, and I pretty much normally show. I mean, I appreciate so much NES box art, because even if you think about Genesis
nice.
or Super Nintendo, they're kind of
Black.
more correlated.
And they're all black. like the
NES
Super
is
NES
just
phones.
anything that the developer wanted to make. They're wild, they're
They took their
wacky.
time on it.
highly collectible, and it goes up and down, but I think like if you look at it like 20 30 years from now, like a complete set of NES might be worth who knows
knows?
it might be crazy, it might be
Especially with
worth
some of
a lot.
the heavy-
You never know
Yeah.
who has it, right?
Yep.
That's the biggest thing. It's like, who are you getting it from?
Well, and I think again back to what I was saying earlier, I think a lot of people that do complete it aren't going to sell it. They're going to be like, this was my lifelong thing, I'm going to hang on to this till I die.
Well, speaking of, Mikey and I were talking before this that we were watching The King of Collectibles, you know, Golden
Oh, yeah.
on Netflix. Season 2's out, and like when they were going for action number 1, the Superman, right?
Nobody wanted to sell it.
How did he get it? He had to go to conventions. Literally, he was walking around. I know it's, you know, media, so it's probably a little fabrication in some of it, but walking to every booth. Do you know anybody that's Action 1? Anybody? I don't know. This guy's a multimillionaire. Yeah, I got $2 to $3 million in my pocket, basically. Not reality, but figuratively. Finally, he meets someone. They tell him there's a referral. And guess, like Ben said, the only person willing to sell it was a collector.
And they wanted like top dollar too.
And they wanted
Yeah.
top dollar. And the guys that got the other ones wanted, well, if I sell this, I also want the first appearance of Batman. And I want
you
the
have to
first.
promise him like extra things.
Yeah,
to get
I
the
want
comic.
this $1 million comic.
Like money plus I promise that I'll get you like a different version of it. Or
Hey,
something.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
who was in it? The King of Collectibles?
Who?
You guys, or Ben will probably remember
forgot.
more, or you might remember too. Remember the documentary Rarity about when they talked about WADA and everything, and there was that dentist?
oh yeah.
yeah,
He's in that.
I had heard people talking about this, so this message just came out. I haven't watched King of Collectibles, but they kept referring to, they did a video game episode with this dentist guy that's a collector.
Yeah.
So it is that guy.
Well, what's interesting is we knew him because of whatever you want to think about him. I don't care. It's like politics. I don't care what you believe. Whatever you think about him and his WATA stuff, he was like one of the big guys in like buying some of the heavies at WATA or from WATA, all the graded WATA games. But in this King of Collectibles, he wasn't. He was selling Bob Ross paintings. A Bob Ross painting.
Yeah.
I love Bob Ross.
Okay, yeah, I remember.
He had like a Bob Ross, and it sold for like, I don't know, 20, 30
You just
grand or
gotta
something.
Paint that mountain.
He was saying, which is interesting, Bob Ross is one of the first originators of ASMR without realizing it.
I'm like, where did I learn that? But it was an episode.
I have a
It
buddy
is
who
ASMR.
tells me, he goes, I only watch Bob Ross videos before I go to bed. That was like, what crazy.
Wow.
I can see like how that calms people down watching it. You know,
Soothing.
Say, like you have anxiety or something, and like you start watching that, you're like, okay.
And it makes me respect him more that he's not like some
Like a
girl just trying to,
Oh yeah, just kind of.
show her body parts. And I promise I'm just doing ASMR, but hold on, let me adjust the camera. Okay, look at this. It's like, get out of here, dude.
You know what I've actually been liking is like, we talk about like gatekeeping and all that stuff, but like the cool part about like content is other genres getting into content, like Toy Federation. I have never seen some of the toys that they have, and it just opens my mind to like, I'm like, dude, that is insane finds. Like,
Yeah, Toy
right
Federation is a store in South Carolina that I went to maybe 4 or 5 years ago. First time I went to South
Shoots
Carolina.
like documentary style.
And I went
very
to the
good.
store and they had no show. They had nothing. And I was like, my God, your guys' store is like next level. Like it's an unbelievable next level toy store. Like beyond back
What
rooms.
made it that? Like, what made it like next level?
They're what they had in store.
Oh, yeah?
It's like going into a NES store and they're like, oh, here's all our little Samsons and here's all our
okay, just grill,
and it's all
pretty
for
much.
sale. Like
okay.
it's all for sale, and they have back rooms bigger than our houses, like 50 of them, and they're just wild. And then they started a YouTube channel for content, and whatever that maybe that'll do something to the toy market. But they shoot very documentary style, but it's like they're doing
They've
very
grown
well.
so fast.
They've grown fast.
What I've noticed in the last, I've owned my shops now to go 12, 13 years, but in the last 13 years is that the shops themselves have been leveling up. Meaning like, I'm not, probably
that's
even with the Funkos too, but like
Yeah, actually-
the new video game stores that are opening up, like whether it's Fire and Ice, like it's
yeah,
got an
he's
awesome
great.
setup, or like Rick's store, like
great.
Like I'm looking at my shops are still great, but I'm like, dang, I have to keep improving to like
Yep.
make them as good as the new ones.
Yep.
And it's
Yeah.
Yeah,
I-
actually,
like even
that's true.
the
Yeah.
action figure, a lot of the toy shops you see now, you're like, dang, these shops are amazing. So
It's
pretty
almost
cool
like
to see that actually.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
Yeah.
What's nice is like it's almost like seeing the presentation now of things and people are videoing it and bringing it to light. It's kind of like playing into that as well.
It almost even forces you as an owner, knowing in the modern age that a lot of people are filming and not telling you. I remember back in the early days when Ricky and I were, doing Retro Liberty, we filmed at like a toy store or no, a video game store, and like didn't tell them, but we weren't like making a scene either. It was like early day YouTuber, just like, kneeling down by the shelf, like quietly recording, just like,
That's how I record.
yeah,
This is
just
me,
like,
my pirate
looking.
U-shaped shirt.
and they emailed us like or something like a month later, like pissed. They're like, our store looks horrible, this and that. And in my head,
Oh, I
I was
think I
like,
remember
and
that.
in my head, I was like, well, clean up your store, dude.
Clean up your
There
store.
was an
Yeah.
episode, right, that you did on like the NES Pursuit.
Yeah, way back
it
in the
that?
day.
Yeah.
Way back in the day.
I kind of remember.
And they
that.
were like, oh, it was so dirty and it looked gross. And I was like, oh, sorry. It was early. I didn't really know back then if I should ask or what the rules were. It was a different world back then before content creation was popular. And I just, in my head, I was like, I'm sorry out loud. But in my head, I was like, dude, clean up your shop then. Like, this should be a wake up call for you. Yeah.
But it's a pretty awesome time, in my opinion, to be a collector right now, whether you're into comics. There's still tons of comic book stores around.
Yeah.
Although I've heard they're not doing too well, comic book stores. But toy stores, there's a ton. The video game stores, like, if you go back to, again, when I opened my store, people were like, you're an idiot. Why would you go open up a video game store? Now I feel like I talk to people all the time. They're like, I'm opening up a store. I'm opening up a store. I'm expanding. I'm opening up another store.
Well.
I know. I'm like, all right, it all worked out more than anything. But like, if you're a collector, you have so many options to go out there to so many different stores.
But California,
now.
I feel is like one of the best spots, like to
For
to
sure.
be a collector,
For
like
sure.
in anything,
Oh
because
my
we got
gosh.
stores all over the place.
We are
Everything.
We are riddled.
Yeah.
Whether
with-
it's records, there's VHS stores out
Riddled
here
with
now.
we
and they're
went,
doing well.
we went
Yeah,
to
everybody does good. It is a huge collector's market.
we swapped up like going to a different swap we haven't been to in a long time, and we went there and it was like what we were missing over here.
Yeah, we went to. I'm not even gonna name the name. We went back to an old swap meet that we haven't been to in years, and or maybe a year, once in a blue moon.
We're like, switch it up today. We gotta go something different.
Well, we literally said it was funny. I'm like, I don't want to buy a ton of stuff. I have too much inventory, and I'm like, let's just go to a swap meet where it'll be dead. I go there and just 5 seconds in, $2,000 deep.
I should just blow it up right now.
I edit. I'll just cut it out.
Now I feel like already but by you guys going there and saying it's a good spot, now I'm like, well, shoot, now I want to go there.
Yeah. When you leave our old spot, then we'll go back.
It's a trap.
There's nothing there.
Blake and I show up there next week and we're like, what the hell is it? Yeah, it's not even happening. They're like, got him.
I don't know, but I mean, it's really cool. Like, I mean, I never want to like fault somebody getting into content, but it did seem like, the markets do change here and there. And as more people get into content, it might actually adjust pricing as we go on.
Yeah, I think I just noticed it so much with the Xbox stuff because for the longest time, like, I'll be honest, as a collector, and any collector can say this who's been doing it for a long time. You kind of go back in my day, like even a year ago, Xbox was like nobody gave a crap. Nobody was buying Xbox stuff. You go to the swap meet, it's like wipe your shoes on an Xbox game. Like nobody now everyone's like
Xbox. You're saying Xbox original?
Just Xbox in
Xbox
general.
360. I used to have shelves of it, of like just stuffed full. I couldn't sell it, but I always knew I was like, it's just a matter of time. Just wait.
It'll become nostalgic for somebody soon.
And now I look at my Xbox 360 shelves. I'm like, dang, I need Xbox 360 games. Like they're
and until a YouTuber does a video, like to spike up the price.
And everybody is talking about Xbox right now.
Yeah. So to go back to the original question, as a store owner, we love the YouTubers and all you guys doing collections and videos and everything, and vice versa. You guys get a lot of content from the stores and everything.
It helps us too.
It's very like mutual.
Yeah, I fully tell that to stores, to people that we buy from the swap meet. I thank them just as much as they thank me. I'm saying, thank you because this gives me, content, which I'm not a fan of content for the sake of content. I'm a fan of content because it's interesting content that I truly would like to share with people. Yeah. So that's why I like doing it that way. But it's like, that's why I'm thankful to you, and then you'll give me like 15% off or something. Like, thank you. Like that helps me. Hopefully I'm helping you in return, exposing your store a little bit, so it is a good trade-off. Even when we went to Siege, someone made a joke when we showed up. They're like, uh-oh, watch out, Phoenix Resale's coming. Nobody likes him. He's like, yeah, us vendors hate when someone comes and spends thousands of dollars here. like rolling his eyes like, are you an idiot?
And he pays the highest of anyone I know. So it's kind of insane to think that.
I would just say, just one last thought on this, but like overall, the collectibles market and even Funko Pops, we started off with that. Like they're doing pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Like overall, it just seems like a very, very, very healthy market right now.
Good.
Like my stores are doing good. People are opening new stores. Collectors are completing sets. The expos, like all the expos seem to be full. People are going to them.
I never realized complete sets too are almost like a godsend for stores because you're going to sell those games that nobody ever buys.
When I get somebody that comes in, and I love all the customers that come in, but when somebody comes in with a long list and goes, I'm trying to complete my set, and they go over there, and I'm like, oh man, I have all these garbage games, every single one of them.
And in reality,
this was not on your list, but you should get
who's buying NES Play Action Football? Nobody.
But if
unless you're going for the complete set,
you're going to get all.
And I just bought one CIB. So there you go. By the way, I think was that the cheapest game of the NES set?
Yeah, it was like
$1.20.
I think it was like $1.20.
Complete?
No, not complete.
Just loose.
But even with the box, like $12. I think it was like the cheapest NES game we could find on
Probably
price
like
charting.
Kirkland toilet paper price. Like that's how bad it was.
Yeah, it was as low.
It was like
as
we
it
were
goes.
going through.
It's pricier now though.
We were going through it for price charting on the low game, like $2, $1. I was like, oh man, this is brutal.
But then it got me. He got me with a couple random ones. I bought, for those who don't know, it hasn't gone out yet, but I bought basically Ben's a lot of his commons because I was like, hey, I'm going to the complete set. What do you have extra? And he's like, oh, great. Here's like 40 games to fill out because it's a lot of the $7 games that I never buy because I don't care to buy them.
I don't know, man. I feel like we should call
somebody's buying them.
Boxer Ben, man. He has a zillion boxes full of things you would never know.
Yep.
All right, let me ask one other question while we're still on this topic.
Ben, what time do you have to leave? Soon?
Oh, I'm good. I got at least another 20 minutes, guys.
Yeah, we'll close
get
up
you out
shop.
soon.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll
get you
get you
out
out
soon.
right now.
How do you guys feel about like actually buying a full complete set? Like
Right out the gate?
Out the gate. Like I don't personally
Cheating.
get it.
So I would do it if I was buying it to resell it.
Only to resell.
Only to resell. Buy it once. Because like my NES set, there was literally a full NES set on eBay when I started.
Buy it and then break it down individually.
And I
Okay,
didn't
so that
want to
makes
do that
sense.
because there's something weird with me and NES. Like going for complete sets, I'll probably only ever do like NES and Super Nintendo. I don't want to do complete sets for things that I truly don't have a love for. I feel like a complete set has to be something you truly love, like to where you could probably talk about 80% of the games without looking on Wikipedia. You're like, yes, oh, I love that set. That was one of the best sets, changed my life, this and that. So for that, for me, buying it at once would have taken out the fun. Now I would do it if it was worth 70 grand and someone offered me for 30 grand. I'd say, sweet, now I'll resell it, then use that money to find the games the way I want, whether it's buying them from Ben or from you. It's the journey, the fun, the process. And the thing I'm looking forward to most in my set, it's my brother, he finally moved back down here and we've been hanging out, but I'm almost like, don't come to my shed yet. And it's like, why? I want to have a game night. It's like, I want to have that moment where we have our 99-cent store crappy brand True Blue lemon cookies that we had as kids with a pizza from Pizza Hut, and I want to walk in here and play with you when the set's complete.
That's awesome.
Like, that's what I want to do, and be like, what game do you want to play?
Dang, I'd like to do that with my brother. That's
a baller, man.
Like, I just, and I want to be like, what do you want to play? I have it.
It has expanded. Just your set. I'm looking at it.
Looks nice.
I mean, at time of recording and the audience, I'm almost scared from the Pixel podcasters.
We haven't
Listen,
even had time.
Pixel podcasters, you guys are the secret people. Don't repeat this. I'm at like 627 now. There's like only 50 more. So yes, I'm getting like some of the,
and they're all there?
Color Dreams.
They're all here right now?
There's more like underneath the shelf because I had to hide them.
Oh,
you know what's great is like as we're like shooting this content, like we are as close as content can get as what we're putting out on not only this channel but also Pixel Game Squad. We took a huge break and gap, kind of just to kind of refresh.
Yeah, I stopped filming for Pixel Game Squad because the videos were going out like a month and a half after I filmed them, and I didn't like that feeling. I kind of wanted the audience to be a little bit more close with me.
Yeah, Christmas in March.
Yeah, we didn't film for like 3 weeks, no, like even a month, so that we could.
Are you caught up now?
We're like 2 weeks ahead, which is great. That's where I want to be because sponsors, they need time to approve videos. You know, you got to sell out a little bit once in a while. Someone's got to pay for a little Samson.
Someone had to do it.
You don't think I was posing for Dr. Squatch in my Old Spice like that? By the way, my buddy texted me. He's like, bro, there's some funny comments of you in here. Like, when is OnlyFans coming, Riff? Some of the meanest comments. Like,
I was defending you on one of them, bro, because like this one guy's like, oh, this is the guy that ruined retro gaming. I was like, bro, you don't even follow the page. But you stopped at a video with Riff is half naked. You like, I need to comment on it.
You clicked on that, bro, with me with the shirt off.
Yeah, it's like you saw him half naked and you're like, let me write something. That means you watched the video a few times as you're writing that. Yeah. And he replied to me.
I have so many alt accounts for those. I'm sorry.
I sent that video to Gabo and he was like, bro. And I was like, he's like, you look good. I was like, thanks, man.
That's awesome, dude.
Like, you look good, bro. Thanks, Gabo.
We'll probably just finish the shop right here. Guys, like I said, we are making a little bit of adjustment with the full audio episodes. We're moving on to a new host. And that being said, because of we had like hundreds and hundreds of thousand downloads and we weren't getting pushed for ad rolls at all. And we didn't make a dime. So...
Me and Chris haven't even paid ourselves back yet for the shed.
Yeah, so just be patient with us as we are moving our audio episodes over. And like I said, all of our links will be in the description. Follow Mikey on social media. You guys already know.
Bootleg Heroes Mikey on Instagram.
Retro Games Plus.
Retro Games Plus.
Retro World Expo coming up in August.
Give them the dates. Give them the dates.
August 23rd, 24th, 25th, 3-day show, Connecticut Convention.
We already had...
Chris, what will you give someone if they say, I wasn't planning on coming, but I listened to the podcast episode and now I'm coming? Only
that
because,
because
they heard this
at the show.
And they have to repeat it just like that. I was not planning on coming, but then I heard the podcast, so I decided to come.
I would give you $100 credit at my booth, the Retro Games Plus booth.
All right,
saying that sentence.
I'll be the first person there.
Now they have to prove that. They'll have to prove it.
But I can only give away one of these, right? This isn't going away to everybody that says this.
And whoever wins, what they have to do. Oh, here's what you have to do. Here's what you need to do. Whatever date that podcast goes out, that's the day that they have to prove that that's the day they bought like either their airfare, their hotel, or their ticket. They have to be able to prove it in some manner that the day that the podcast went out is the same day they booked one of those.
And the first person that messages or something.
First person that says it at you, to you.
Oh, to me.
They need to come to you, say it at the expo.
At the
first
expo.
person and have proof. $100 at your booth?
Yes.
Let's go.
All right. Hey, that's a great challenge.
That's a deal.
Like I said, guys, we appreciate you guys always. Like we were literally trying to put as great as content as we can out for you guys, and like we love and we love doing this, so we're just gonna keep adjusting.
We're trying
the channel.
to spite the communists over here.
As you see, we're putting out more behind the scenes. You had Riff do a video. You have another one of me at Siege. I'm gonna do one at Chris's out in the retro world. So like,
Oh yeah, Chris,
you know,
you'll
just
be
oh,
there.
you're going?
Come
Yeah.
on.
yeah, just be
You wanna
prepared
come
for
on,
all of it.
Mikey?
I'll see if I can. I'll see
Yeah,
if I
that's
can.
enough.
It's
Social
'cause-
media.
No, I've never been out there. I've never been out there. So
I know a lot of people ask about like, you know, like what about like the, you know, the collections of people like in the group. Ben's got a whole Neo Geo set I would love to go through. We
Film
have
it.
crazy t-shirts that Chris has,
Film it.
comics. We're going to film as much as we can
I have
for
a
the
great
group.
Dr.
so-
Squatch collection of soaps now.
Yeah, I mean, and you're going to
They literally sent me like 100.
fresh balls by Dr.
Yeah?
Squatch over here.
I have fresh
I
balls
need some
right
fresh
now.
balls.
So,
Straight up,
I
dude.
just want to say,
Hey,
guys,
you bought me Boss 3D.
Hey, dude,
Hey.
it says they already shipped it. Guess how much it costs right now, and I'll give you $5.
I know
Nobody
it's not
look
that
at
much.
price charting. It's a fun game.
I know it's not that much. I'm gonna say,
But I bought it CIB, Mikey.
$25.
Oh, you're off. CIB.
16.
You guys are wrong, dude.
34.
oh, you're going to look at me? I already looked at your phone, so that's not fair.
Oh, out the door, 5109.
Dang.
CIB.
Man, I appreciate that.
Hey, bro, I
appreciate
made sure I got a
that.
clean copy. That's why I was
Hey,
like,
thanks, bro. Hey,
You didn't buy the brand
no,
new
honestly, that was really dope, bro.
But you,
wow, Ben.
but you guys are the real OGs for staying with the channel, and we appreciate you guys always, man. Thank you, Mikey, for being here.
Thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you. Goodbye.
Hey.